Welcome back, viewers. So in today's class, let us see few more important models from the f of x power g of x model, where you have to apply the logarithm for the given question, and then let us see the different types of cases. Is it really necessary to apply the logarithm or not? If we apply the logarithm, whether you are getting in a simplified way or not. These are the things that we will see in today's class. Okay, so let's get started. So let us take down this question first. Let us start with the simple one. Y is equal to tan inverse of a by x plus log root over x minus a by x plus a. Then prove that dy by dx is equal to 2a cube by x power 4 minus a power 4. Tan inverse of a by x plus log root over x minus a by x plus a. See, ultimately we have to come to find out the value of dy by dx. So actually, if you observe in the question, there is no function power function here, so you no need to apply any logarithm, right? So if I just apply directly the differentiation, you will be getting dy by dx is equal to dy by dx of tan inverse a by x plus d by dx of, see, I told you in the last class, whenever you are seeing the square root or cube root, try to write it in the form of a power, so that you will get the further simplification idea. So x minus a by x plus a whole power half you will have it, right? So this is d by dx of tan inverse x, which is nothing but 1 by 1 plus x square, that means 1 by a plus 1 plus a by x whole square. But as this is not x, inner differentiation for that will be d by dx of a by x. See, here you can get one idea that half can be friend, because we know that log a to the power m, if you are having, you can write it as an m log a. So this is a half can be pulled out from the differentiation itself, d by dx of log of x minus a by x plus a. Now if you just observe here again, in this case again you can use the logarithm properties, that is nothing but log of a by b, which can be written as log a minus log b. So let us simplify this further. By taking LCM, you will be getting x square by a square plus x square. Here a is a constant, d by dx of 1 by x will be minus 1 by x square. So this is continuation will be half into d by dx of log of x minus a minus log of x plus a. See, this is what the advantage that you are having with the logarithm. See how simple it became. Previously you are having a division, now the division got converted into subtraction. And we know that if you are having division and applying the division rule for finding the differentiation, that will be little bit difficult when compared to applying differentiation to the subtraction or addition. So this is the advantage. So you can do the further simplification here by cancelling out this. You will be getting minus a divided by a square plus x square, and then here half into this is log function difference. You can just split the differentiation for addition and subtraction. Log function differentiation is 1 by function 1 by x minus a. Though it is not x, you have to take the inner derivative differentiation. You will get 1 minus 1 by x plus 1. It is also not equal to x, so inner differentiation will be again into 1. So simplified further, you will be getting minus a by a square plus x square plus half into, you can take an LCM, that will be x minus into x plus a, that is nothing but x square minus a square, and the numerator will become x plus a minus of x minus a, right? Simplified further, minus a by x square plus x a square plus half into, you can just remove the bracket by multiplying with minus, and x will get cancelled. You will be getting 2a divided by x square minus a square, right? So let us do the further simplification, because we have to prove dy by dx is equal to something like 2a cube by x power 4 minus a power 4. Let us see that how we are getting it. So this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Finally you are having minus a divided by x square plus a square plus a divided by x square minus a square. So if I take LCM again, I can make use of a plus b into a minus b. You will get a square minus b square. So minus a into x square minus a square plus a into x square plus a square. If you do the further simplification, minus ax square plus a cube plus ax square plus a cube divided by x power 4 minus a power 4. This minus x square plus x square will get cancelled. Finally you are getting 2a cube divided by x power 4 minus a power 4. This is your required dy by dx. So this is how you have to do the further calculation, depends on your requirement. So the simple point that I want to tell you here is, whenever you are seeing any logarithm in the given question, please don't spend some time on observing that logarithm function, because for sure you will get a lot of simplification with respect to logarithm function. It's all about whether are we able to use the logarithm properties effectively or not, provided we are having only multiplication and division. So because logarithm properties will be applicable for multiplication and division, whenever you are having addition and subtraction, we cannot apply the logarithm. These are the few things that you have to keep in your mind whenever you are having logarithm functions involved here. Okay, now let us see one more simple question, and it is also a possibility for 2 more question actually, because it's a simple exponential based question. Take down this. If e power x plus e power y is equal to e power x plus y, then prove that dy by dx plus e power y minus x is equals to 0. First spend some time on observing the question. Actually, after seeing this question, some students will think that how come the given will be true. See, the point that you have to understand, it's a given statement means they are assuming in that way. It doesn't mean that you have to correct that part. Whatever they had given, it's a given statement for you. It's an assumption from their point of view. You are not supposed to change the assumptions that they had taken. You just have to proceed with the given assumptions, and then you have to cross check whether you are ending up with the required result or not. Okay, so this is e power x plus e power y is equal to e power x plus y. So I will apply differentiation on both sides. D by dx of e power x, you can split the differentiation for both the terms. You will be getting d by dx of e power x plus y. Now see here, we learned in our previous class itself, exponential function differentiation is e power x itself. Even for e power y also, this is e power y, but this is not x, so you will be getting dy by dx is equal to, again this is also exponential function, so it will be the same, but this is not x. Inner differentiation for that will become dy by dx plus 1, because x derivative is 1 and y derivative is dy by dx. But our requirement in the question is dy by dx. So what I will do, I will just bring all the dy by dx terms to the another side by multiplying with, by expanding the right side term, dy by dx. So what is my requirement here? Dy by dx. So I will bring this term to other side. I will be getting e power y dy by dx minus e power x plus y dy by dx is equal to This term I am sending to other side, e power x plus y minus e power x. So my requirement here is to find out the value of dy by dx. So I will take the dy by dx common here in the left side and I will see what I will get. So if I take that dy by dx as a common, I will be getting e power y minus e power x plus y is equal to e power x plus y minus e power x. So from this, the value of dy by dx is equal to e power x plus y minus e power x divided by e power y minus e power x plus y. But see, our requirement is not this. We have to prove that dy by dx plus something is equals to 0. So that means you have to modify this further to get your required one. How to get that? See, this you just have to bring in only one term along with the dy by dx. So that means you have to further simplify this. Instead of using for our own properties, better please try to think what you can replace from the question point of view. Why? Because you can just observe here e power x plus y. From the law of exponents we can use a power m into a power n. But the next thing that you have to identify is whether do we have any use of writing in that way or not. So before writing for that, e power x plus y can be replaced with e power x plus e power y. So now see, once if I substitute e power x with e power x plus e power y, it will be like this. Now see, straight away you can cancel out e power x. So in the numerator e power y will be left out. E power y minus e power x minus e power y. So finally you are getting minus e power y by e power x here. So that means you are having dy by dx is equal to minus. This is of the form a power m by a power n, a power m minus n. See, you got your required term. So if you just bring to the left side, you will be getting dy by dx plus e power y minus x is equals to 0. Right? So the takeaway from this question is, whenever you are required to prove something, and if you are getting something else, try to modify or try to bring in the question in the solving part, so that you will be ended up with the required result. So instead of going for straight away the properties that we know and we are using it, instead of that, try to utilize it from the question itself, so that you will be getting your required part. And one more thing is, in the differentiation, it is always better to follow the question, and according to your requirement it's better to approach the question. Why? Because mostly the questions will be designed in such a way that we no need to use our known properties. Instead, it is enough for us to make use of the given question itself in the solution, and then you will end up with the correct result, right? So this is the one thing you have to notice here. What is, whenever you are having any required proving part, you just have to think of how to further modify it by using the given part of the question. That is the only one logic you have to remember with respect to differentiation. Okay. Now let us see one more question from the differentiation point of view, where you have a chance of getting it for a 4 mark. Please take down this. If x power m into y power n is equal to x plus y whole power m plus n, then prove that dy by dx is equal to y by x. See this question, x power m into y power n is equal to x plus y whole power m plus n, then prove that dy by dx is equal to y by x. Now see this question how we have to do. Before going into the actual procedure, let us just imagine if we apply the differentiation, whether it will become a lengthy or a simple question. Let us think of that first. Later we will come to a decision how to proceed it. See, this is x power m into y power n. It's a product. So if I apply log differentiation here, I have to use the product rule. And see, this m and n are unknowns for us. You will be getting something like m into x power m minus 1 and n into y power n minus 1. Of course, other term will be there. Okay? But just observe here, we cannot go ahead with the further simplification here. Why? Because this is x power m minus 1. Next term will be y power n. That will remain as it is. And here the other term will be x power m. So what actually happens here, you don't have any scope of further simplification here, right? That is the first thing. Second thing, what else we can do for this type of questions? See, we learned from the starting that logarithm can be applicable whenever you are having power, that is what radicals, or whenever you are having the function power function. So this is the another way of applying logarithm for these questions, because you are having the power here. So, and also one more reason which made me to drive towards the logarithmic differentiation is I am having product here. Whenever we already discussed that logarithm will be applicable for multiplication and division. I am having multiplication here. So if I go ahead with applying logarithm on both the sides, it will be little bit easy for me compared to the other method of approaching this question. Right? So you can see here, this is a product, so this will become log x power m plus log y power n. This power will come from this property we discussed in the before question itself, into log of x plus y. Now see how simply it became reduced. And also here in the next step, m can come from here, this will become m log x plus n log y is equal to m plus n, this is log x plus y. The common mistake what students will do is, after coming here in the next step, they tempted to write it as a log x plus log y. Please remember, log won't be applicable for addition and subtraction, right? Now, if you apply the differentiation now on both the sides, d by dx of m log x plus d by dx of n log y. Here you can see this m plus n is a constant because there is no variable, into d by dx of log of x plus y. Okay. So you can observe in the first and second term, m and n are for sure constants because there is no variable involved there. So you can pull those terms out of the differentiation. And also in the right side, I had already taken that m plus n out of the differentiation, because m plus n is a constant value. So once if you bring this m outside of the differentiation, I will be getting m into d by dx of log x means 1 by x. Here n is the constant, so I will take n out. Log function differentiation is 1 by y, but this is not x, so inner differentiation will be dy by dx. Come to the other part, this is equal to m plus n. Log function differentiation is again 1 by function x plus y, but this is not x. So inner differentiation for x is 1 and the other term is dy by dx. Right? So this is m by x plus n by y, dy by dx is equal to the first term m plus n by x plus y into 1 plus dy by dx. So we just simplified, we applied the logarithm function and then we tried to get it the value of in terms of dy by dx. So now let us bring all the terms to one side, which is dy by dx terms, and other terms to other side to get the value of dy by dx. So I will just multiply this first of all. M by x, n by y, dy by dx is equal to, multiply with 1, you will be getting m plus n by x plus y plus m plus n by x plus y into dy by dx. So our requirement is to find the value of dy by dx. So I will send this term to other side and this term to the left side. So m by x minus m plus n by x plus y is equal to, from these two terms you can take a dy by dx out. You will be getting m plus n by x minus x plus y by n minus y. So first of all, let us simplify it further here itself, and then we will think of what we will get the value of dy by dx. See, if I take the LCM here, I will be getting x into x plus y. So m into x plus y minus m plus n into x. This is our first term. Coming to the right side part, dy by dx into LCM will be y into x plus y. So the first term will be m plus n into y minus n into x plus y. So you can cancel out x plus y and x plus y here because both are on the opposite sides and they are in the same denominators. So if you expand the numerator here, I will be getting mx, my minus mx minus nx divided by x is equal to dy by dx into my, ny minus nx minus ny divided by y. So you can look for the cancellations mx, ny, ny. So finally you left out with my minus nx by x is equal to dy by dx into, here also if you observe the left out terms, you will be getting my minus nx by y. And you can just observe here, both the sides, this my minus nx is in the numerator, so both can get cancelled out. So finally, if you just write whatever left out here, you are having 1 by x is equal to dy by dx into 1 by y. So from this, dy by dx is equal to y by x. Hence proof. So the important point that you have to notice from this question is, first thing, whenever you are having the power multiplication, division, you have a scope of applying logarithm on both sides. This is the first important point. Once if you apply the logarithm on both sides, then majority of complexity will get reduced automatically, and then you just have to look for the value of dy by dx to get your required answer. And one more important point that you have to notice here is, depends on the required proving part, you have to bring in question into the solving part, so that if you just substitute it, your calculation part will become simple and you will get your required answer. So these are the few important models with respect to f of x power g of x model. In the next class, we will talk about parametric equations. Okay, thank you viewers.